Well, a very good afternoon. Thanks for clicking on to the Sunday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. I'm parked up in a lay-by here at just above Drummochter Summit on the A9. And if you see me, my head bouncing around I don't know, one of those little gadgets that you have on the dashboard of a car that the head bobs around. I kind of feel like that at the moment, actually. I've got a curtain trailer at the moment, so these curtains, when you've got the traffic kind of running past you, it tends to kind of bounce you around a little bit more than it does if you've got a fridge on. So that is the reason why my head is bouncing around the way it is. If you're wondering. But in today's video, I want to actually look at the current pattern. This is off the GFS, and it's quite interesting. The high pressure, like I said in the previous video, is holding on somewhat. Now that front that kind of moved in off the Atlantic and kind of died in place, kind of came back to life again over the last 24 hours or so, and we've seen some pretty heavy and persistent rain driving north from Livingston up to Wick during the overnight period. Rain was quite persistent. At times it was very heavy. There was also a lot of mist and murk around as well. A very humid, very damp atmosphere. But basically, the energy associated with that front kind of came back to life, like I say, and we've seen some fairly heavy rainfall associated with that. That system will eventually move further east, clearing most of the British Isles with exceptions of East Anglia and the southeast of England, where through the rest of today, tonight, and even into tomorrow, we're going to see that frontal system continuing to bring fairly wet conditions to this part of the world. Then eventually, as we move into the new work week, we're going to start to see things settling down. Behind that system, we've got clearer skies. So tonight, clear skies and fairly light winds means that we're going to see the temperature drop probably to low single figures in some parts north of England and the Highlands of Scotland, for example, as high pressure kind of builds in once again. So I'm quite pleased with the overall idea that I've had over the last few days, with the high kind of maintaining itself. Generally speaking, yeah, we've had frontal systems kind of having fairly significant impacts on the British Isles, but generally speaking, it's within a high pressure dominated weather pattern. Now, as we go through this week, folks, high pressure during at least the first half of the week will maintain itself. We're going to have systems that move largely from kind of west southwest to kind of east northeast. Glancing the top of the British Isles here, as you see here, we've got that area of high pressure down over the Azores, generally dominating the weather pattern across the UK. As you can see, weather systems packing for a punch actually further north and staying largely to the north through the bulk of this week. I do apologise. I'll get back to you, Lindsay, in a second. Kind of glancing the top of the British Isles. But what is interesting is we're going to have systems moving across the top, generally over Iceland or near Iceland. But we've got some energy that's kind of dropping to the south. So if I skip back to the start of this chart, keep an eye to the west of the high over the Azores or near the Azores. You notice here that as we get a system that comes off North America, while we've got the majority of that system kind of tracks eastwards here, we'll have an arm, a branch breaking off that area of low pressure, developing a fresh new area of low pressure. And what that's going to do is it's going to also actually attract and draw up energy from the tropics here. And as it does so, we're going to see a game changer. We're going to see things changing as we go through into next weekend. Now, obviously, the details in this, long way off. But it's interesting to watch the evolution of the pattern. And this is what I'm talking about. It's been born the last several weeks. There's been very little in the way of weather. High pressure has been the dominant player. But we're starting to see things become a little bit more active once again. So you notice here, west of the area of high pressure, we've got a lot of weather energy getting drawn up from the warm tropics or subtropics. That is going to connect with the jet stream that's fairly active, fairly strong, further north. As that energy from the tropics connects with the energy further north, we're going to start to see the trough low pressure systems start to track a little bit further north. So at the moment, the jets riding to the north of the UK on the whole, but we're going to start to see things changing. So this is during Tuesday. This is during Tuesday, and what's going to happen is we're going to start to see the setup changing here, because as we skip through the loop, area of low pressure starts to lift north, and as it does so, it's going to reinvigorate the jet further north, and all it comes together almost between the southern branch, the northern branch. We'll start to see an area of low pressure kind of almost blow up to the west of the UK. So as we push towards the end of the work week coming up, we're going to see things changing, and we're going to see more in the way of autumn low pressure across the British Isles, and that may maintain itself as we go forward here. That's 2 phone calls. I'm going to get into trouble if I don't phone her back, so I'm going to shut this video off for now. Hope you have a great rest of your Sunday, great rest of your weekend. I'm back in the next couple of days with more. Bye for now.